Imagine catching your wife cheating, and instead of throwing words, you throw a snow globe. Except this wasn't some silly rom-com accident, because when Edward swung, Paul didn't get back up. His body hit the floor, the globe cracked, and silence filled the room. But here's the thing. This shocking moment wasn't the beginning. It wasn't even the end. It was the messy, heartbreaking middle. So sit back, hit the subscribe button, and turn on the notification bell, because I'm about to tell you the story of how one silly snow globe became the deadliest thing in Edward's living room. Jessica Summers lived a life that looked flawless on the outside. If you asked her neighbors, they would say she was blessed. A loving husband, a beautiful young son, a spacious home in the suburbs with a garden where roses bloomed in perfect rows. To anyone looking in, Jessica was the picture of stability, safety, and comfort. But behind that carefully arranged life, Jessica often found herself staring out of her kitchen window, watching the wind stir the trees, and wondering if this was all there was. Her husband Edward was dependable. He worked hard at his business. He loved her. He loved their child. He never strayed, never faltered, never failed her. He was steady, predictable, and kind. And yet, that very predictability sometimes left Jessica restless. She didn't hate her life, far from it. She adored her son. She respected her husband. But deep inside, in the quiet hours of the afternoon, she sometimes felt a stirring, a yearning for something untamed, something that would shake her from the comfort she had wrapped around herself for so many years. She wanted to feel alive again, in a way she hadn't felt since she was younger. One windy afternoon in Manhattan, fate answered that desire. Jessica was rushing down a busy street, her arms weighed down with shopping bags, the wind whipping furiously against her coat. In one sharp gust, she collided with a man carrying an armful of books. They tumbled to the ground, scattering across the wet pavement. She bent down to help, apologizing, flustered, and when she looked up, their eyes met. The man smiled faintly, his French accent slipping through as he thanked her. His name was Paul Martel. He was younger than Edward, confident in a way that seemed effortless, and magnetic in a way Jessica could not ignore. His dark eyes lingered on her, not rudely, but intently, as though he could see the thoughts she kept locked away. Paul insisted on helping her gather the books, his hands brushing hers once, and the contact made Jessica's breath catch in her throat. The city rushed around them, cars honking, people pushing past, but in that moment, Jessica felt suspended in a bubble. When Paul invited her to his loft to escape the sudden drizzle that had begun to fall, Jessica hesitated. Every instinct told her to politely refuse and walk away, but she didn't. She followed him. His loft was unlike anything she had ever seen, a world apart from her neatly arranged suburban home. Shelves lined with rare books climbed the walls, canvases leaned against corners. Old jazz records played faintly in the background. The scent of strong coffee and cigarettes hung in the air. It was raw, alive, almost chaotic, and Jessica found herself drinking it in. Paul moved through the space as though he owned not just the room but the air in it. He poured her tea. He asked about her life. His questions weren't small talk, they were probing, intimate, as though he was peeling away layers she didn't even know she carried. And all the while, his eyes never left hers. Jessica left the loft that day feeling something she hadn't in years. Her heart beat faster. Her mind swirled. When he told her she was welcome to come back any time, the words stayed with her like an invitation written under her skin. Back home, Jessica tried to return to her life. She cooked dinner, folded laundry, kissed her son's forehead, laughed at Edward's stories. But in the stillness of the night, Paul's voice echoed in her memory. His loft replayed in her imagination. She told herself it was harmless, a strange encounter, a fleeting distraction. Yet her heart knew otherwise. Days later, Jessica found herself wandering near Paul's loft again. She told herself it was chance. But when she looked up and saw him leaning against the doorway as if waiting for her, she knew the truth. She wanted to see him again. Their conversation began innocently. Books, art, the city. But beneath every word was a charge neither of them could ignore. Then, suddenly, Paul kissed her. Jessica gasped, pulling back, guilt flooding her chest. She was married, she was a mother, she had a family waiting for her, but the heat of that kiss lingered, pulling her back into its gravity. Against every vow she had ever made, Jessica kissed him again. That kiss became the spark to a fire she could no longer contain.